So it's been a while since I've done a video, but I wanted to remind anyone who's still out there, who's still watching and looking up for our expectation, which is Christ Jesus to return. And I hope that people are making use of the time and making themselves ready and unspotted as we wait to receive the glory that we look for so forward to. And I also wanted to bring up that sometimes the Father will call us into our calling, and that we have use for God if we listen and obey Him. And sometimes we're in toxic relationships or people that don't believe, or and you can call it compatibility issues, or narcissism is sometimes a part of it as well. But whatever it is, it's usually spiritual. And if you're a Christian, which most of you probably watching this are, and if you aren't, I would definitely recommend it while you still have time, because this life is short. And that's another reason why you need to be separate sometimes. As it says in the Word, be ye separate and touch not the unclean thing. And sometimes the unclean thing can be a person or an idol. Sometimes we idolize objects, or even sports teams, video games, movies, movie stars, celebrities. And so sometimes we have to remember that these things are a hindrance and keep us away from what God is really calling us to. And sometimes He's calling you into a greater purpose. Sometimes that's to spread the gospel, which is salvation. And sometimes that's to just be kind to your fellow human being, because that's what Jesus taught. People want to make Jesus into a political icon or something, and He's not. You know, you have a lot of right-wing people and left-wing that both look at Jesus differently, but I think He was compassionate to all human beings. And that's why He's the only idol I want. You know, He's the one I want to look up to, and literally. And that's another thing, is that these times are they're just getting crazier and crazier with everything going on. And people are talking about World War III. It's already started, and they look at the news all the time, and maybe too much. That's why you have to make use of the time, and consider things for God. And He likes this, when you humble yourself and when you give yourself to Him and submit, bow to the earth, in humble subservience, because He's the only one you should fear, as in reverence, and love as in He's Abba, your Papa. And He's the one that will save you and truly loves you and doesn't want you to perish. That's why He sent His only begotten Son. So that's what we need to be doing, as stewards and servants. That way we look for the reward in heaven. And plus, out of love and character, you want to help your fellow man. You should. It's just something. God gave us all these different ingredients, and animals and flora and fauna, and all the beautiful sky and everything. So the least we can do is honor Him and give back some way. Sometimes just by being kind and realizing that He is who He says He is. So that's what we need to look for, guys. That's what we need to be doing with the time as we wait on the Lord.